Welcome to the Ramayan, Stories of Dharm and Devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the timeless epic of Valmiki's Ramayan. Today, we turn our focus to the trials of Sita, who endures her captivity in Lanka with unmatched strength and resilience. Our narrative draws deeply from Valmiki's original text and is enriched with stories from other Indian traditions, offering you a complete and immersive experience of this eternal tale. In this episode, we witness Sita's confrontation with Raavan, her unwavering defiance in the face of his threats, and the compassionate support she receives from Trijata, a Rakshasi who becomes her unexpected ally. Amidst the darkness of Lanka, Trijata's wisdom and kindness shine as a beacon of hope for Sita, reminding us of the power of empathy and faith in trying times. So, let us journey into the heart of Lanka and uncover the bond between two women, one held captive and the other defying the norms of a kind to support Dharm.
The lush and serene beauty of Ashok Vatika, with its vibrant flowers and cascading streams, provided a stark contrast to the sorrow that enveloped Sita's heart. She was surrounded by nature's splendor, yet her thoughts were consumed by the separation from Ram and the uncertain future that loomed ahead. Raavan, the mighty king of Lanka, had made his intentions clear from the start. He gave Sita a year to accept him as her husband. His visits to the Ashok Vatika were frequent, each one filled with both persuasive flattery and veiled threats. "You have a year, Sita," Raavan had said, his voice dripping with malice during one such visit. "After that, if you do not yield to me, you will face consequences that even your beloved Ram will not be able to save you from." Yet, despite his warnings, Sita remained steadfast. She refused to so much as glance at Raavan, her gaze always lowered in prayer or fixed resolutely on the horizon. Each time Raavan left in frustration, the Rakshasis who guarded her would mock her resolve, trying to break her spirit. But Sita's heart remained unyielding. In the quiet solitude of Ashok Vatika, Sita sought solace in her daily prayers. She folded her hands and closed her eyes, her thoughts filled with wishes for Ram and Lakshman. "May Ram be safe and strong," she whispered to herself. "May Lakshman continue to support him with unwavering loyalty. May they both remain healthy and soulful as they prepare for whatever challenges lie ahead." Amidst her prayers, Sita often found herself reflecting on the fateful moment she had crossed the Lakshman Rekha. Regret and guilt weighed heavily on her heart. "If only I had heeded Lakshman's words," she thought, tears streaming down her face. "If only I had trusted him, I would not be here now, separated from my beloved and causing him such pain." Amidst the darkness of her captivity, one figure brought a glimmer of light to Sita's days: Trijata. An elderly Rakshasi with a kind heart and sharp intellect, Trijata had been introduced earlier in our journey as one of the few beings in Lanka who saw Sita's divine nature and purity. Trijata often sat beside Sita, offering her words of comfort and hope. "Devi," she would say, her voice gentle yet firm, "Raavan's arrogance will be his undoing. I have seen it in my dreams. Ram will come for you, and his power will bring justice to Lanka. Do not lose hope." When the other Rakshasis taunted Sita, Trijata silenced them with her commanding presence. "Enough," she would scold. "Do you not see the strength in her eyes, the purity of her soul? She is no ordinary woman. She is the consort of Ram, the embodiment of Dharm." Trijata's kindness was a lifeline for Sita, a reminder that even in the heart of Raavan's kingdom, there were those who recognized and respected Dharm. Sita's days in Ashok Vatika were marked by a quiet resilience. Though her body was confined, her spirit remained free. She refused to let despair consume her, drawing strength from her unwavering faith in Ram. She believed that he would find her, that their love would triumph over all obstacles. Even as she endured Raavan's threats and the Rakshasi's taunts, Sita's mind was filled with prayers and thoughts of her beloved. She often gazed at the sky, imagining Ram and Lakshman somewhere out there, preparing to rescue her. In the midst of her ordeal, Sita found solace in the small acts of defiance, refusing to engage with Raavan, keeping her faith alive, and leaning on the compassion of Trijata. Meanwhile, Raavan's visits to Ashokvatika had become an unrelenting test of Sita's endurance and faith. One such day, as the flowers in the Vatika swayed gently in the breeze, Sita sat beneath a sprawling tree, her thoughts consumed by memories of Ram and her unwavering commitment to Dharm. The heavy footsteps of Raavan echoed through the garden, signaling his arrival. Clad in regal splendor, his demeanor exuded arrogance as he approached Sita. Standing before her, his voice rang with a mix of persuasion and threat. "Sita," he said, "enough of this defiance. A lot of time has passed since you came here, and time is running out for you to accept my offer. Become my queen, and I will make you the most exalted woman in all realms. Refuse me, and you will face consequences that even you cannot bear." Sita remained silent, her gaze steady but unyielding. She bent down and picked up a single blade of grass, placing it between herself and Raavan. Her action, seemingly simple, carried a world of meaning. Sita's origins were intertwined with the earth itself. She had emerged from the sacred soil of Mithila when King Janak uncovered her while ploughing his fields. To Sita, the land was not just her birthplace, it was her family. The grass, sprouting from the same soil, was akin to her siblings, her brothers. As she placed the blade of grass between them, Sita's silent message was profound. This blade of grass is not mere vegetation. It is the sword of my brother, the land, who will protect me. Just as no true brother would let harm befall his sister, this symbol reminds me that the earth itself will stand guard over me, no matter what happens. Her faith in this familial bond with the land underscored the strength of Indian traditions, where elements like earth, air, fire, and water are revered as extensions of one's family. Raavan, interpreting the gesture as an insult, laughed derisively. "A blade of grass? You insult me with such triviality? I am Raavan, the king of Lanka. Do you think the earth or this insignificant grass can stand against my might?" Sita, her voice calm but filled with conviction, finally spoke. "Raavan, you may rule Lanka, but your arrogance blinds you. This grass is not trivial. It represents the unwavering bond between a brother and sister. I was born of the earth, and this blade of grass, like a sibling, carries its strength. My brother, the grasses and their blades, will never let me fall, for his sword will always protect me." Her words, steeped in unshakable belief and dignity, made Raavan uneasy. Though he masked his discomfort, her defiance stirred an unease within him. Frustrated, he stormed away, vowing to return. Sita's act of placing the blade of grass before her was more than a symbolic rejection of Raavan's advances. It was a reaffirmation of the enduring strength of familial bonds. In Indian tradition, relationships extend beyond human ties to include the natural elements. The earth, to Sita, was not just her origin, but her family. A brother who would never fail to protect his sister, no matter the odds. The gesture also reflected Sita's unyielding belief in Dharm and her deep connection to her roots, literally and figuratively. She drew strength from the soil, her eternal sibling, trusting it to shield her from harm in the face of Raavan's threats. As Raavan disappeared into the shadows, Trijata stepped forward, her eyes filled with admiration for Sita. "Devi," she said softly, "your courage is a beacon of hope. The land, your brother, stands with you, as does your beloved Ram. No darkness can extinguish the light of your faith." Sita smiled faintly, her resolve unbroken. "Trijata, I trust in my Ram and in the earth that nurtured me. No matter how long the wait, I know I will be free." In her captivity, Sita's strength was nourished by her deep connection to the land, her unwavering love for Ram, and the silent support of Trijata, who stood as a pillar of comfort amid the storm. Trijata, though a relatively minor character in the original Valmiki Ramayan, emerges as a beacon of compassion and wisdom in later retellings. In some versions, she is mentioned as the daughter of Vibhishan, Ravan's righteous brother, and thus Trijata had been raised with values that starkly contrasted the cruelty and deceit often displayed by her Rakshas kin. Her virtuous upbringing made her a rare ally to Sita in the hostile confines of Lanka. Trijata, with her kind heart and sharp intuition, understood the depth of Sita's anguish and made it her mission to provide solace wherever possible. Though bound by her duty as a Rakshasi under Ravan's command, her compassion and sense of righteousness compelled her to subtly aid Sita in her time of need. Raavan, ever the strategist, had spies spread across the world who brought him news of kingdoms, battles, and individuals of interest. These reports were meant solely for Raavan, but Trijata would often overhear them. Whenever the information hinted at anything that could be connected to Ram or Lakshman, she would carefully and discreetly relay it to Sita, becoming an unseen lifeline in her isolation. Devi, Trijata would whisper softly during her visits to Ashok Vatika, "I overheard something." Ravan's spies spoke of a powerful warrior creating ripples in the southern forests. He is said to be forging alliances with remarkable beings. Could it be a Ram? Perhaps he is closer than we think. Trijata's updates didn't stop there. She revealed how Vanars from all over had seemingly vanished from their usual territories. The Rakshasas are puzzled, she shared. The Vanars have disappeared, almost as if they are gathering for something significant. What could draw them together in such numbers? When Sita's eyes lit up with a flicker of hope, Trijata offered another revelation. "Devi, Raavan hasn't heard from Bali in a long time. His confidence falters, though he would never admit it. Could this silence be a sign of change to come?" These tidbits of information became lifelines for Sita, infusing her weary heart with hope and fortifying her resolve to endure. Each whisper from Trijata felt like a faint breeze of reassurance, carrying the promise of justice and liberation. "Trijata," Sita said one day, her voice steady but emotional, "your words mean more to me than you can imagine. If Ram and Lakshman are truly preparing for something, I must hold on for them, for myself, and for the Dharm that binds us all." Trijata, her voice filled with quiet determination, replied, "Devi, you are the daughter of the earth. Like the soil that nourishes life, your endurance will give rise to a new dawn. Hold fast, for the world outside does not stand still. Ram will come, and Ravan's tyranny will end." Through Trijata's subtle acts of defiance and unwavering support, Sita found strength to face each day, confident that her beloved Ram was drawing ever closer to bringing her ordeal to an end. Beyond shielding Sita, Trijata became her confidant and companion. She spent us keeping Sita company, sharing stories, playing games, and weaving tales of hope and courage. These moments of companionship offered Sita much-needed respite from her loneliness and anguish. "Devi," Trijata would say, "your strength inspires me. Even in the darkest times, you carry yourself with grace. That strength will see you through." Through her actions, Trijata demonstrated a quiet heroism, a steadfast loyalty to Dharm that went against the norms of a Rakshas heritage. Trijata's courage extended even to confronting Raavan himself sometimes. When Raavan tried to deceive Sita by showing her false images of Ram lying lifeless, Trijata's outrage knew no bounds. "Raavan," she rebuked him, "deception is the weapon of the weak. Do you think such lies will win Sita's heart? Your actions only reveal your desperation and cowardice." Her bold words shocked even Raavan, who rarely faced such defiance. Though he dismissed her rebukes outwardly, they planted seeds of unease within him, a reminder that his actions were not above reproach. Trijata's presence in Ashok Vatika was a lifeline for Sita, not just because of her kindness, but because she embodied hope and righteousness in a place that otherwise seemed devoid of them. Her wisdom, courage, and compassion shone through her actions, making her a pivotal figure in sustaining Sita's resolve during her captivity. Though often overshadowed by the grandeur of the epic's larger events, Trijata's role serves as a profound reminder of how even the smallest acts of kindness and courage can change the course of a story. In standing by Sita, she upheld Dharm, defying her Rakshas heritage and aligning herself with the greater good.
In this episode, we delved into the depths of Sita's captivity in Lanka, a period marked by relentless trials and unwavering resilience. We witnessed the torment inflicted by Raavan's threats and the Rakshasi guards, but also the steadfast strength of Sita, whose prayers and devotion to Ram kept her spirit unbroken. Amidst this darkness, Trijata emerged as a beacon of hope and compassion. With her wisdom, courage, and quiet defiance of Raavan's tyranny, she became Sita's confidant, protector, and a source of solace. Her subtle acts of kindness and her willingness to challenge even Raavan himself remind us of the profound impact one individual can have in the face of adversity. We also reflected on Sita's unshakable connection to her mother, the earth, a bond that symbolized the enduring strength of familial ties and the harmony between humans and nature, a cornerstone of Indian tradition. Her reliance on this divine relationship shows how even in isolation, faith can provide solace and strength. Join me in the next episode as the tides begin to shift, with new developments bringing us closer to the moment when justice will prevail and Dharm will be restored. Share this podcast with your loved ones and let the timeless lessons of the Ramayana inspire your journey. Though the details of this ancient tale may vary across traditions, its essence reminds us of the enduring power of compassion, courage, and hope in the face of adversity. Until next time, may the light of Dharm illuminate your path and fill your heart with peace.